Ms. Altobelli?
Here.
Ms. Alvaro?
Here.
Stick? Ms. Fight?
Here.
Ms. LaPierre?
Here.
Mr. Whitley?
Here.
Mr. Lerma?
Here.
Mr. Delgado? Ms. Saratelli? Here.
Announcement of compliance with Sunshine Law.
We are on.
Welcoming visitors and instructions to when the board can be addressed. Seeing there is no visitors, we move on to the next part. Reading of the minutes.
Reading of the minutes. I have some comments on the minutes before they're approved. Under personnel, it says, it was moved by Mr. Whitley and seconded by Mr. Delgado to get rid of the floating holidays and to close the library. Votes aye, and then the vote was taken. And the proposal was passed. But what I do not see in the minutes is the first proposal that was put before the board and voted upon and came out as a draw. And that should be part of the minutes because it was part of our official meeting. And that is not in there.
I'm sorry. Okay. There's no way that can be corrected.
Now, when that is corrected, the wording of that proposal goes along with it. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Any other questions concerning the minutes? Any motion on the floor?
I make a motion that the minutes be received as read with changes.
Second.
Ms. Altobelli?
Yes.
Ms. Alvaro?
Let's abstain.
Ms. Fight?
Yes.
Ms. LaPierre?
Yes.
Mr. Lerma?
Yes.
Mr. Whitley?
Yes.
Mr. Delgado?
Yes.
And Ms. Saratelli? Yes.
The Treasurer's report for February 12th, February 2012. I make a motion to accept the Treasurer's report as submitted. The signatures haven't been signed over yet for the Treasurer. That will be done today, so I'm still signing.
Who signs the checks?
I have
And who officially signs the checks?
Ms. Salerno on slide.
You need two signatures?
No, one. Motion on the floor.
Second motion.
Ms. Altobelli?
Yes.
Ms. Hicks? Ms. Fight?
Yes.
Ms. LaPierre?
Yes.
Mr. Lerma?
Yes.
Mr. Whitley?
Yes.
Ms. Alvaro?
Yes.
Mr. Delgado?
Yes.
Ms. Saratelli?
Yes.
A presentation of approval of bills for February 16, 2012. I make a motion that we pay the bills for February 16, 2012.
Ms. Altobelli?
Yes.
Ms. Fight?
Yes.
Ms. LaPierre?
Yes.
Ms. Lerma?
Yeah.
Mr. Whitley?
Yes.
Ms. Alvaro?
Yes.
Mr. Delgado?
Yes.
Ms. Saratelli? Yes.
Reports of special committees. There were no meetings. The next is report of the library director.
I have one item that I'd like to highlight this evening. I shared with the board a meeting ago that I wanted to create more partnerships with organizations and groups in the city because I just was not happy with the number of children who were coming into the building. And I contacted Stan Neuron, who is the director of the Office of Youth Services for Elizabeth. And 2 weeks ago, we started a new program for 4th and 5th graders that is held in our local history room. The children's librarian is running that program. It will run until the end of the school year. It is to teach the children about local history. They will go on field trips. They will take pictures. They will learn math reading skills. It's going to be a very good program. So we're starting our third week next week, and the culminating activity for that project is at the end of the school year. The parents will be able to come in to observe what their children have done over the last 3 months. A banner will be made, and it will be part of our Centennial celebration. It will be displayed in the library. And the one thing about this project is not so much that we are having the children come here for a 3-month period of time. The larger issue is that we are relationship building. These children, as 4th and 5th graders, come to the building, they get to know the staff here, they feel ownership for it, and they still have 7 years in the school system. So we're very excited about that. The other thing that we're excited about with the Office of Youth Services is that they have contact with their parents, they have sent in applications, and every child in that program will receive a library card.
Do you know how many children are involved in the program?
I don't know how many in total, but we're dealing directly with the 4th and 5th graders, and not even the entire 4th and 5th grade, just children who are expressing interest in doing the project. So we're working with approximately 20 kids in that program. But the other thing that is exciting that's happening here is that the FAC preparation classes that are being held by the Office of Youth Services are held in our computer lab every Tuesday and Thursday. And it is well attended. And again, it's not just the students that are coming here for FAC. That's a wonderful thing. But they're becoming more familiar with the building because many of these teams we have not seen in the library before. So we're building a patron base. And so we're excited about that. So that's my report.
Reading other communications. There's no communications. Unfinished business.
Okay, if we...
Wait a minute, there was some unfinished business.
That's where we're at right now.
Oh.
She's going to speak.
Well, we usually go down the things that are listed here for unfinished business. The first thing on the unfinished business list is the exterior renovation. Had a construction meeting yesterday. We got a new schedule of completion. The original date of completion was supposed to be March the 13th. It has now been moved to March 30th. I am happy to report that most of the physical, all of the physical work has been done as part of the specifications. The last thing that needed to be done was the installation of the copper chenille. I don't know if you noticed when you came in today, it is there. It's difficult to see it because the scaffolding is still up. The scaffolding is up because we're now in the process of doing what they call a punch list. The project architect, which is no architect, they come in and they go through the entire, go around the entire building. Remember, we had some interior issues associated with exterior renovation, and he puts a punch list together for the contractor saying, this needs to be addressed, this needs to be addressed, this needs to be addressed. Once those things are addressed and fixed to satisfaction of the project architect, then we can continue to proceed with closing out the project. One of the things that the board should be aware of, and I'm in touch with the legal department as we speak, this project was delayed because the initial contractor defaulted. When they defaulted, that meant that this project, which was scheduled to end in August of 2011, has gone on longer. And there are some things that have to be talked about: the additional outlay of funds, the interior damage that was caused by water infiltration when the initial contractor just picked up and left. And it was during the time when we had the hurricane and the driving rain. This building took on a large amount of water. And I still have some concerns about whether or not the interior walls have been properly repaired and are totally dry. So that is what I'm working on now. How real is the March 30th completion date? I
So
don't,
that, the things that need to be fixed inside the building is supposed to be finished March 30th as well?
well, they were completed. But the board needs to be aware that the work that was done was not, did not solve the problem. Because we had bubbling on some of the interior walls from water infiltration.
Since it's been fixed.
Well, when it first happened, they came in, they repaired. We are now having bubbling again, which indicates there's still moisture in the walls. And so one of the things that we really don't want to have happen is closing out that punch list until we are satisfied that that has been properly addressed. And if it takes longer to dry out those interior walls, what we need to do is have some proviso and this final contract that if the work that has been done to rectify that situation does not hold up, you're responsible for coming back in here to address it. I am working with the legal department right now to work out the details of that, but that is what I have on this clear evaluation.
You have a comment?
As you know, you did vote for me to attend the Public Librarians Conference in Philadelphia last week. I was there from Tuesday through Friday. I must tell you that it was time well spent. One of the things that became very clear to me as I sat in sessions and looked at exhibits is that we're not archaic, but we still have work to do to stay on the cutting edge of what's happening in libraries today. What you can expect from me, I took copious notes and I have some PowerPoint presentations. What I will do is present the board with a formal report at the next meeting for your perusal, and if you have any further questions, we can discuss them at that meeting. But I would like to say initially that it was time well spent. And I appreciate you giving me the opportunity to attend. Thank you.
The Latino Heritage Festival grant.
The Latino Heritage Festival grant, as you well know, we were a library that was awarded that grant from the state library in an amount of $10,000. The difference in this grant and other grants that we received is that it's only a 6-month time frame. Grants usually are a year in duration, but this grant has to be done, the programming supporting the grant, all of that has to be completed by June 30th. Jose Luis Alvarez, who is the head of reference, is one of the lead persons on that grant. He's working with Monica Eppinger, our assistant director, and myself. Really, really good programming associated with that grant. It started with our staff development day, where we had a person who was well known, Ingrid Betancourt in New Jersey, and really across the nation. She did a program for us on how to serve diverse cultures. And so that was really unofficially the kickoff to our Latino Heritage Festival grant. But what I am hoping will happen on April the 9th, that all of you can attend the official kickoff. Because from January through March, we have spent that time doing preliminary work, setting up programs, getting the performers in. And so April the 9th is the kickoff for all of the activities that are going to be associated with that grant. Please know when the state library gives you this kind of funding, they want you to do things that can be replicated in other libraries. So we are really being very careful and conscious of what we're doing and the ability to replicate them in other libraries. April 9th is an all-day affair. So you can come at any time. We will have, we we have invited the mayor, the state librarian. I saw her at conference, and she said she would do anything she could to assist us, so we're hoping that she will be able to come. We have performers coming in, we have book talking. It's just a whole day of introducing people to the kinds of things that we're going to be doing with this plan. The culminating activity will be in June, when we have a technology fair, if you will, and that's still being ironed out because it was further reinforced for me at the library conference. The technology is here. It's not going anywhere. So we are incorporating the use of technology in libraries at the fair, which is, I said, is a culminating activity. So that's where we are.
Yes, I'm glad you're having this wonderful kickoff for the whole city, but you're cutting out one faction of the city because April 9th is right smack in the middle of the Passover holidays. So that lets up one area of the city.
What we can do, I can't, we've committed to some things. I don't know, we can look at that. We can look at that and take that into consideration. Okay, thank you.
You have another bullet items?
But we contacted City Hall to see if we could, in front of Broad Street and along Broadway Avenue, if we could, I don't know if you noticed one of the lamp posts, there's a place where you can put banners, and they actually have the fixtures there, if for lack of a better word, if you will. And we have gotten the okay to put banners along the lamp post in front of Broad Street and along Broadway Avenue. So those banners, we're in the process of getting those made. So when people drive by, they will see that a festival is taking place here. And so we're excited about that.
This is one line that's in the old business that's just negotiation.
Oh, we have not met since the last meeting. That's why I didn't put anything on all of it. Excuse me, I didn't hear what you said. We have not met.
The negotiations.
There's nothing new to report.
You talking about the union?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I didn't hear that.
I'm sorry, I knew we were in the middle of negotiations. All right, new business. Oh, I'm sorry.
So we're still holding off on the team services librarian around.
I have that in personnel.
Oh. New business.
The library Centennial. It's important for the board to be aware that we're not unique, but people are asked to do more and more with less and less. This is a very, very busy library. But we have to make way for the library Centennial. We're celebrating our 100th anniversary in October. We need to start talking about what kinds of things we want to do for that celebration, because it really is a big deal. We can't do a lot, practically speaking, because we just stretch so thin, but we're hoping by the end of June, when the festival grant ends, we will be able to form a committee to start planning what we'd like to do for the month of October. It might not be too ambitious to try to have a month-long celebration, because that is the anniversary month. One of the things that I would like the board to start thinking about, would you like to have a committee that, like a ceremonial committee, they care, they work, but they're not doing the nuts and bolts. So I thought we could just add an honorary committee, that terminology that's used, and then a working committee. And so maybe if the board can start thinking about the kinds of things you'd like to see done for the Centennial, and if you can maybe have that on your agenda next month, so we can start talking about what kinds of things we'd like to do. So that I just think that this is a wonderful old building. It's been recently refurbished, and it's just perfect timing for us to celebrate our centennial.
Yeah, that's something that we will, like you said, put on the agenda for next year. I think it's exciting that we're celebrating our centennial, and I'm looking forward to putting that together. We keep that celebration. Ribbon cutting and the exterior renovation.
As she exhaled, this has been a project that I think you as a board can be very proud of. First of all, it's a brand new building. It's a Carnegie building. There are not very many Carnegie buildings that are still being used as libraries. The exterior renovation was so key to preserving this building, and it's fitting. We're in historic, we're in the downtown historic district. And so I said to Mayor Bowles when I saw him at the State of the City address this past January, I said, Mayor Bowles, next year, we're going to be on your slide presentation as one of the things that the city can point to apply. This is a project that has been long-standing. Joe Keenan, my predecessor, started the project, did the preliminary work. He must have worked on it 3 or 4 years himself. It's been very involved because it is a historical building, and everything that was done to it had to be done according to, you had to maintain the historical integrity of the building. And so I've been here, believe it or not, 6.5 years. And the entire 6.5 years I've worked on this project. And it is just great for us that it's finally coming to a close. We have some last minute housekeeping things to take care of, but by and large, the project is finished. And so we have to make a big deal of that. It's an accomplishment. And I would not like to wait until we have the State of the City address. I think that we need to have a ribbon cutting ceremony. I think we need to invite the dignitaries from the city. And I think it needs to be, a reception and, some conversation about what it took and why it's important. So don't have a date for that, because that's another thing that we're talking about. I really think it's safe to say all of the punch lists and all of the last minute details to end this project really shouldn't take more than another month or so. And then I'm throwing it out to the board. When would you like to have the ribbon cutting ceremony? We just need to make sure we have enough lead time to invite, because try to invite people who are busy, with busy schedules. I mean, our mayor, of course, we want him here, but his calendar is probably set a couple of months in advance, which is why I'm saying today we need to at least throw out some dates that we can work with and start. And if you have anything specific that you want to share about what you'd like to see at this ribbon cutting, and is your ribbon cutting, I would like for you to maybe discuss that today.
I mean, maybe the planning committee could get together and.
Let's have a planning committee.
Yeah, we have the standing committee. Chairperson is Mr. Delgado, and Mr. Finance, and Mr. Alfredo on the committee. You guys can get together and come up with something, and ask our board if you have any other suggestions or anything, just take it to them, and when they meet, they can share your Mr. Delgado and Mr. Finance.
And you are free to, Ms. Alfredo, you're free to meet at the library. We have a small conference room up here on the 4th floor. If you want to meet in my office, I would love to, you can meet by yourself if you'd like to come, I can. You can just meet and tell me what you come up with and report to the board. But I just want you to know that whenever you want to meet, the library is open to you.
Okay. Now, personnel. We need a motion. go into closed session.
Motion to go into closed session.
Can I make a motion to promote Madeline Fabo as the head of circulation / reference librarian?
From librarian to senior.
From librarian to senior.
I second.
Ms. Oswald? Yes.
Ms. Fight?
Let me think about it. Come back to me.
Ms. LaPierre?
Yes.
Ms. Salerno? Yes. Mr. Whitley?
Yes.
Ms. Alvaro?
Yes.
Mr. Delgado?
Yes.
Ms. Saraswati? Yes. Ms. Fight?
Okay.
Anything? Meeting adjourned.
Oh,
Motion to close the meeting.
second. Was that Ms. Salerno? Oh, I'm sorry. Ms. Altobelli? Yes. Ms. White? Ms. LaPierre?
Yes.
Is that adjourned?
Ms. Salerno? Yes. Mr. Whitley?
Yes.
Ms. Alvaro?
Yes.
Mr. Delgado?
Yes.
Ms. Saraswati?
Meeting adjourned.
Planning